Did I push record? Let's see. I did. Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Colby. If you're new to the channel, you've never seen me before. I am an aspiring fantasy and science fiction author. And this whole channel is just to give some encouragement, talk about my process and things like that. I don't know if anyone's going to get value from it, but we'll go with that. Today I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed recently with a lot of my friends. I think a lot of us have ideas for books. But then when it comes to actually doing it, people hit resistance. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. But the whole point of this video is to encourage you to give it a try. I think writing can be a very great thing for a lot of people. I think having a creative outlet in your life is extremely important, whatever that is. Some people get that through their work, some people don't. Writing can be something for that. It can either be a hobby, or if you love it enough, like I did, you can pursue it professionally. The main thing I hear is I don't have time, which is a reasonable thing, though I think if it's important enough to you, you'll find time, you'll make time. And I think you can do it in a healthy way too. I don't think you need to have the grind culture mindset where you're working 40 hours and then also writing 40 more hours for 80 hours a week total. That's not realistic for a lot of people. I think you'll burn out very fast if you try to do that. But for real, like, I know some of you out there, you have families, married, kids, jobs, kids, sports, you have hobbies, other passions, you want to hang out with friends. I get it. When it's like that, time is limited. You're certainly going to have less time, the person I just described, than me, though I am married. I have a 40-hour job. I have a lot of friends that I like to do things with. We go hiking almost every weekend. I have a lot of other passions, not just writing, that I pursue, and I still find time to consistently write. That's not exactly what I want to talk about in this video, though, because there's something else that I've noticed that's a big thing that I didn't really realize at first. When I started writing, I was on a walk, I had an idea, and I thought, that's pretty cool. I've never read a story like that. Let me try to put that onto paper. So I gave it a chance, and I loved it, and I just kept going. I kind of developed that story as I went. But later, really it was my third novel, which I've only completed 3. I had this idea. I had a beginning and ending and a little bit of the middle. And anytime I thought about it, my brain pictured it as this perfect story. I thought, ooh, this is it. This is the one. But weirdly, I felt more resistance to start that story than the first 2 where I just had a cool idea that I wanted to explore. And that's when I realized what this is. I think for us, our brains are really good at deceiving us. And what I mean by that is we think of this story and our brain will pass over or fill in gaps that we don't realize are there. So in our head, it's a perfect story already. It's amazing. We're like pumped about it. But subconsciously, we know that there are gaps, which is normal. That's the whole point of writing and revisions and things like that. But we are afraid to put it onto paper because we're like, what if it actually sucks? What if it isn't good? What if there's too many holes? What if I can't fix it? And all these what ifs start going through our head. Even if we're not consciously thinking about it, it represents itself as writer's block. Ultimately, I just decided to start. And then it was great. As soon as I started, I was like, what was I worried about? Yes, this story isn't perfect, because no story is perfect on the first draft. If anyone ever tells you that, they're lying. Every single book you've read that are all these books right here started as a first draft that had a ton of problems and a lot of holes. But with the work of revisions and their team, likely, even if they're a debut author and they don't have a big team, revisions, that's what they're for. They'll make it that perfect story that you see in your head. So just get started. But that's what I want to talk about, is the benefits that I've gotten from writing to maybe encourage you to give it a chance. Give that idea you have a chance. I think most of the benefit are mental things. I'm way better at processing emotions and talking about them That's something I've struggled with for a long time. I just kind of hold everything in. But when you write, it gives you a chance to view things from a bunch of different perspectives, because you're creating characters that some of them are going to think like you. Most of them will, because that's how we see the world. So our characters are going to share some of that. But intentionally, we write characters who are maybe not exactly opposite, but different. They come at things from different angles. It forces you to explore those ideas. So you get better at processing things, you get more empathetic. I truly believe that. The other one is, I think since writing, articulate myself a little bit better and have an easier time having conversations with strangers. I'm a physical therapist in my day job, so I talk to people literally all day. I'm outpatient, so I'm seeing people every 40 minutes to an hour, depending where I'm working, every day, all day long. So I talk to people a lot, so I get a lot of practice. So you would think that I'd be good at it before I started writing, and maybe I was okay at it, but I think I've gotten better because I'm articulating my thoughts onto paper and I'm thinking about them, processing them, and it comes out naturally. Now, I'm not saying I suddenly have an extensive vocabulary. That's not what I mean, but you can fill in gaps during conversations, or you're able to better appreciate what they're telling you without just running through the motions. Third, I think you would be surprised how much fulfillment comes with writing a story. Again, even if it's a hobby, when you create something, whether it is writing or something else, there's this feeling of accomplishment and pride that comes with that. And for me, nothing else besides writing touches that level of fulfillment. Here's how I often describe it to people. If you're a reader, like, let's see that book on the top shelf in the center that's facing us? That is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Actually, that book is what inspired me to write, because when I was reading that book, it was the first Sanderson book I ever read. Time warped. When I was reading, I'm in that world. It's like time slows down, and I'm there watching these characters do their thing. Time around me, in reality, is flying, because I'm just so engrossed in the story, and you get that amazing feeling of a book that grips you. When I write, that's how I feel every single time. So imagine if you read one of your favorite books and you get that feeling, and you can reproduce that over and over and over by writing your story. That's the possibility that you could have. So I think, why not try? Even if it ends up not being like that and you don't like it, it is worth giving your story a chance. I think you will be proud of it. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.